As both a therapist and an ADHD success coach, the number one challenge I hear from ADHD women is being able to get stuff done with their ADHD, especially the stuff they don't feel like doing. And in this video, I'm going to share one of my favorite ways to help you get stuff done with ADHD. Introducing Dani Donovan's The Anti-Planner: How to Get Shit Done When You Don't Feel Like It. This is hands down my favorite book for ADHD, and for two reasons. One, to be honest, it is like the most beautiful book I own. It's like so pretty, right? I'll show more later. And I own, believe me, I own hundreds and hundreds of books, but it's beautiful. It sounds nice when you move the pages over the spirals, like it's super sensory pleasing, sensorially pleasing, and it is practical to actually help you. It's not just a book about ideas, it's actually giving you over 100 strategies to do stuff. And the way she breaks it down is brilliant. If you listen to my podcast interview of Dani, I don't know, maybe almost a year ago now, I was almost starstruck by talking to her because I was just like, it's just like the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. And I wasn't wrong. It is amazing. So, this book with this beautiful spiral bound, she breaks down into different reasons why you might have a hard time doing something. So, whether you're stuck, overwhelmed, unmotivated, disorganized, or discouraged. And I've got my little tabby tabs, but she's got tabs that say each of those things there. And so let's say you're stuck, then you go to the stuck page, you go to the stuck section. And at the beginning of each section is what it feels like to be there. So it goes over 3 different ways that stuckness might show up, and it describes them to a T. So for example, how are you feeling? Difficulty getting started. First of all, she refers immediately to a page where there are strategies to work on this, but this is what it feels like when you have a hard time getting started. I know what I need to do, but I can't get myself to do it. I keep prioritizing less important things. I'm putting stuff off for no good reason. I've hit a mental wall, or I can't seem to ever make time to do things. So she helps you figure out which one it is. You could also be indecisive if you're stuck, perfectionistic, distracted. And again, she lays out what each of those look like. So if we're having a hard time getting started, she tells us to go to page 26. First, before we do that, though, there's a page all about what it feels like to be stuck and different pieces of what it looks like, as well as just some advice to even get started. Then you go to page 26. I mean, look at these beautiful pictures. She drew all of them herself. She's an artist. So cool. Full page bleeds. But it talks first a little bit about why can't I do the thing? Like what's going on? And then there's all these different strategies. So she's got this music challenge. So utilize the power of music, like the magic power of your favorite tracks, right? And she's got what it is, what it's best for, what you'll need, and how it works, why it helps, and then tips. Then she's got additional ones, the 5-second rule, and so on and so forth. Several strategies for each thing that you're having a hard time with. And they're super fun and cool. Like some of them are more, I don't know, practical. Some of them are even more playful or gamified, if you will. But it's so amazing. So if we look at another one, overwhelmed, if we go to that tab, how are you feeling? It could be intimidated, overcommitted, panicked, burnt out. So what do you do in these situations? Let's say it's burnt out. So then, I'm putting other needs before my own, which, hey, by the way, I have a cool journal book experience coming out soon. So stay tuned to make sure you catch that, because that's going to come out not just on burnout, but if you're struggling to put yourself first, if you're playing small with ADHD, that book will help a piece of this. But in the meantime, if you're struggling to put yourself first, struggling with self-care, all out of energy, I just can't anymore. Go to page 144. And again, remember, she talks about what overwhelm looks like. But in this case, we go to page 144. It again talks about what burnout looks like. Then she clarifies what's going on in your brain, what are some warning signs that for you specifically, and then you can fill that out so you can know in the future when you're getting close to burnout. And then she's got a checklist for different signs of burnout that are physical, emotional, cognitive, behavioral, that are more than just you. And then you start getting into the strategies. The first one is give yourself a damn break. Love it. And she's not wrong. See, so there's all these ideas. She's not wrong because when you are burnt out, you need some nothingness. Truly need some nothingness to reset your nervous system. And it's fun how she does this. I know I said it's beautiful, but it also is super fun. So when you ask for help, there's that. Recharge your batteries, self-care checklist, all this kind of stuff to help you get back on track when you're feeling burned out. And here, ideas to feed yourself when you just can't anymore. Talking about how cooking takes a lot of mental energy and just ways to even make that simpler when you're feeling burnt out. So, like I said, she's got all these different ways. This is one of my favorite ones. It's her avoidance log. So, like, while you're doing that, I can't tell you how many different things she had in here that I use all the time. She talks about when you're disorganized, and this one's really fun. It's clean by numbers. So she's got like every time you do a certain cleaning activity, you get to color in part of the picture. And so then you're helping yourself clean while you finish your picture. So lots of fun stuff in here. I just can't even. As you get towards the back, you get to discouraged. And that's requires oftentimes much deeper work. So her strategies as you get throughout the book, increase in their, I don't want to say sophistication, but just in their ability to go deeper. So the discouraged things are a little bit deeper than, say, some of the other stuff, right? She's got a vent space where you can scream into the void, or, with these like fun little comic book like things. Draw your feelings. That's really cool. She talks about different ways to do that by doodling, or gives examples of how you might do that with words. Lots of encouraging things, lessons that you've learned when you feel discouraged. That's one of my big things that helps me when I feel discouraged. I'm like, well, what am I learning? If I'm in this place, I might as well learn something. So she has you in one column talk about the shitty experience and what you learned. So I just cannot recommend this book enough. You can tell. I got this book, I think it was like over a year ago. I am beyond excited about it. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. It's not inexpensive. I think it's like 48, 58 bucks, something like that. She often has it on sale on her website, but it's because it actually works and it's killer. Like it's so pretty and fun, like to touch and listen to the pages with the nice binder, that you actually will use it. Now, I want to say something. You can get this book cheaper other places, except that they're not really Dani's. Other people have stolen her work and created these really shitty knockoffs with like crappy pages, and like the paper sucks and it's not the same nice cover and binder, and the print is off. Like, they suck because people stole her work and tried to create a knockoff version. So if you want to get the anti-planner for yourself, I highly recommend you go to Dani Donovan's anti-planner page, and I will put it in the description so you can be sure to find it. I want to say too, when you support Dani, you're supporting a small business. I believe she still has it on Amazon, but I don't know if you know this, but when authors sell on Amazon, Amazon takes so much that they get very little. And yeah, if you buy directly from Dani, I believe you might have to pay for shipping, but she's a small business owner. And if you follow my channel, I have a feeling you care about that, because either you're an entrepreneur or an ADHD woman who just finds these tips helpful, but are justice oriented like a lot of us are. So rather than padding Jeff Bezos' pockets, I wonder if it might be possible to just pay the shipping or whatever goes with that and buy it from Dani herself, which is why I'm going to share her website. Plus, that way you make sure you don't get one of the crappy counterfeit versions that isn't helpful because it's missing pages and not as nice, and you're not going to want to use it. So, I would love it if you'd support Dani. I am not an affiliate. I get nothing for doing this except supporting a woman in small business and helping you find a way to get shit done when you don't feel like it. So if you're not subscribed already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe and please, please at least go to her website. There's no harm and check out Dani Donovan's The Anti Planner. Make sure you subscribe and take care of yourself.